This sexy girl spies on wealthy men every day with a telescope. One day, the rich man went grocery shopping as usual, but spilled water on the floor caught his eye. He instinctively looked up and saw a girl soaked from head to toe, picking out some wine. She smiled and waved, signaling him to help. Using his hobbies, she successfully struck up a chat. To catch his attention, she deliberately wore a soaked white shirt so that her curves were slightly visible. Sure enough, his eyes couldn't help but focus there. When the time was right, he played a little teasing game, watching the girl's sultry movements. The rich man was already stirred inside. When they reached the door, Jenny shivered in the cold wind, and Tom happened to come out. Learning Jenny had been stood up by a ride, Tom thought, perfect timing. He pulled up in his $1 million car and stopped stylishly in front of Jenny. Jenny flashed a barely noticeable smirk. Both had hidden intentions, but Tom was a subtle type. He politely drove her back to her apartment. As Jenny prepared to get out, loud arguing came from inside. Jenny awkwardly said, "Maybe my roommate's on drugs again." Being an orphan, she had to share a cheap apartment with addicts. Tom couldn't miss such an opportunity. He offered her to stay at his place, but Jenny played hard to get again, confidently declined. Yet at the door, she hesitated, standing there, unsure to enter. Tom saw her embarrassment in the rear view, so he backed the car up. This time, Jenny didn't refuse. Tom happily escorted her back home. Tom's house was a luxury mansion worth millions, but for Tom, it was just a drop in the bucket. After all, he earned millions daily, which was why Jenny targeted him. Looking at the lavish mansion, Jenny, unused to luxury, felt secretly thrilled. She finally caught a big fish. Tom opened a bottle of red wine, planning to savor it slowly, but Jenny downed it in one gulp. Her boldness made Tom think she was considerate, so he immediately refilled her glass. Back and forth they drank. The wine kept flowing, and so did the flirtation. Finally, Jenny took off her jacket, revealing her sexy figure. Seeing the ice cream in Tom's hand, she grabbed it directly. A girl like this, who could resist? Tom stared at her seductive beauty. His desire grew stronger. He opened his wine cabinet, filled with high-end wines, each expensive. He picked the priciest one, for them to savor on the sofa. The alcohol loosened them, and the mood became even more intimate.
Ancora di voler tornare?
No. Ma qual è l'alternativa?
Restare qui.
Jenny immediately caught his meaning, removed her extra glasses, eyes full of temptation. What happened next, you can imagine. No one knows how late they partied. Tom woke up. Jenny was gone. Jenny returned home exhausted, lying in bed, planning her next move. Tom, waking up, couldn't feel happy. He realized he was deeply in love with Jenny and didn't want her to be a passerby in his life. That night, he went to Jenny's work at the bar, gathering courage to confess his feelings. But Jenny didn't answer immediately. She shared her experiences and family background because she didn't want to lie to Tom and wanted to be honest. Tom appreciated her sincerity,